Hey everyone, my name is Mario Hernandez, Elektron product specialist in the Americas, and I want to show you my 3 favorite features on the model samples, including an update to our data management software solution called Transfer 1.4. Let's go. The Elektron model samples is a 6-track performance groove box that allows you to load up all of your favorite loops, one-shots, and grooves using the Transfer software. Transfer 1.4 now supports different file types depending on your Elektron device. Those file types can be used for hardware updates, entire projects, sounds and presets, or your sample files. I have my model samples connected to my computer over USB and in the Transfer software. I have my computer files here on the left and my model sample files on the right. So let's create a folder on the samples that we can use to load an entire kit from. I'll call it example. Now on the left side, I'll navigate to my sample folder. And here's one called New Samples. There are about 20 sounds in here and they can all be auditioned using the auto preview function. You also get a nice visual snapshot of the waveform for reference. I can drag all of these samples over to my new folder and they will automatically load onto my device. I can drag in sounds from anywhere on my computer, including other applications like Splice. So let's drag this one from Splice right onto Transfer. Once that's finished, I can go into the model samples and my example folder is there with my sounds. I can preview these sounds now and load them into any of the 6 tracks. That's great for loading a ton of stuff really quick, but I took the time earlier to make a few folders on my desktop with only 6 samples so I could load them really quickly as a kit on the hardware. Now when I browse for those folders on the model samples, I can hold down the data knob to load all 6 tracks at once. Let's take this project file I exported earlier to my desktop and called it xprj.msprj and drag it onto my model samples. So now that it's loaded up, I'll hit play. This makes your samples and projects manageable, and it's an easy way to collaborate with other model samples users. There are so many great performance features to talk about on this device, but today I want to highlight 3: retrig function, velocity controls, and the chromatic keyboard. Let's use the project I just loaded up from the Transfer software. With retrig held, I can use this hi-hat sound I loaded onto track 2 and perform rolls that react to the velocity of my touch. And if I go into the retrig menu, I can change the rate, length, and toggle if it's always on. Let's turn retrig always on and do a roll coming out of this pattern. You could assign the velocity of a pad to any of the parameter controls of the model samples. For instance, this hi-hat sound, I want to give it some depth like a real hi-hat would have when you strike it harder and softer. Right now, it's only adjusting the velocity, but if I go into the pad menu, I can also assign the velocity of the pad to the sample's decay time. So now when I strike the pad softly, it will be more like a closed hat, and the harder I hit the pad, the more the hat opens up to decay. Let's record that into my pattern here. Now the next feature. The chromatic keyboard on the model samples is laid out across the steps here, with step 9 being C, and each note going up by a semitone. Since you only have 1 octave here, I can go into the track menu and transport the keyboard up or down. Let's move it up a bit on this track so I can perform a lead part with this sample. The model samples offers these Elektron superpowers in a sleek, lightweight, and portable package, your own little bundle of joy. If you have any questions about the model samples or any other Elektron products, contact your Sweetwater sales engineer or visit sweetwater.com. Thank you.